You ran 47 calls just last month. Your guys, they were out every single day, Saturdays too. You look at your bank account though, and the numbers just don't match. The money it came in, you watched it come in, but it's not there, and you can't explain it. Not to your wife, not to yourself. You just know something is not right. Now today, I'm going to show you the exact 3 invisible places that your profit is leaking out of your business and give you a framework to find every single one of them. These are the 3 same leaks that I've found in every HVAC business and plumbing business that I've ever worked with over the last 10 years. These are the things that when owners plug them, they don't just make more money, they make more money on fewer calls. And that's the part that changes everything. And if you're thinking, well, my business is different, or I already know my numbers, just stick with me. Because the owners who think that they know exactly what's going on are usually the ones that are leaking the most. The numbers don't lie. Your gut does. See, we're talking tens of thousands of dollars every year. That's not theoretical dollars. They're real dollars that are leaving your business right now, this month, every month, and it compounds. And as you grow and scale, it's only going to get worse if you don't fix these things. So while you're running calls and you're doing the business, you think you're doing fine. I'm going to walk you through, though, something that I call the per hour truth test. It's a framework that takes only about 10 minutes, and it will show you a number that either confirms that your business is healthy or reveals exactly where it's bleeding. And at the end, I'll give you a free calculator so that you can run it exactly yourself and get the real scoop on things. These are the 3 leaks. Let's get into it. Leak number 1, I call this one the revenue mirage. Revenue is the number every owner looks at. It's the number on your invoicing app. It's the number that you tell your buddies over at the supply house. It's the number that makes you feel warm and fuzzy and like things are going well. But revenue is a liar. It tells you how busy you are. It tells you absolutely nothing about whether you actually made money. And here's the problem. Most owners, they've never calculated the actual profit on a single job that they've run. Not one. They know what they charged, but they have no idea what it actually cost them to do the work. True bottom line. The revenue mirage is what I call it, and it's when your top line looks healthy, but your take home, it stays flat, or it actually shrinks. And it happens to almost every HVAC owner, plumbing owner, all the trades, electrical, nobody's immune from it. I've met with a lot of these owners that are between year 2 and year 7, and the business, it starts to get busier, and the owner gets broker, and nobody can ever explain why. Let me give you a real example. You send your tech off to a condo across town, 45-minute drive each way. The job, it's a capacitor swap. It's $380 is what it pays. Sounds fine. Here's the thing. Let's actually run the numbers. Your tech was on the clock for 3 hours once you include all the drive time. His labor cost you $105. The part was $38. The fuel truck and wear and tear and all that was another $40. That's $183 in hard costs on a $380 job. So you netted $197. Now here's the part that actually hurts. That same technician in those same 3 hours could have run a diagnostic call 10 minutes from your shop. The diagnostic pays $289. But it also then leads to a $1,400 compressor repair that closes on the spot because the homeowner is sitting in a hot house and your tech is already there. So the choice was $197 in profit over 3 hours or $1,100 in profit over the same 3 hours. You picked the first one, not because you're bad at business, but because you couldn't see the difference. You were looking at revenue. 380 sounded better than 289, so the decision was made. But the profit told the opposite story. That's the revenue mirage. The job that looks good on the invoice, but eats your day alive. So here's what you do. Starting this week, I want you to track 3 numbers on every single one of your calls. Write them on the invoice, put them in a note on your phone, whatever works. 3 numbers. Number 1, the total time from dispatch to return, portal to portal. That's what we look at. Not just the time on site or the billable hours, but from the moment that your tech leaves to the moment they arrive at the next stop. They're back, they're ready for the next one. That's what we're looking at, portal to portal. Number 2, the total hard cost. Labor, parts, fuel, everything that came out of your pocket for the job, everything. And then number 3, the gross profit, what you charged minus what it actually cost. Then divide that gross profit by your total hours. And that gives you your profit per hour on the truck. That one number tells you more about a job than the invoice will ever actually tell you. Do this for 30 days. I promise you, at least 2 of your most common job types are secretly going to be losing you money, and you're going to start seeing it in black and white for the first time ever. So now that you see the Mirage for what it is, you're going to want to know the second leak, because this one, it's even sneakier. It doesn't show up on any invoice. It doesn't even look like a problem. It looks like a good customer service situation, and it's costing you $200 on almost every single call. Leak number 2 is what I call the invisible service tax. And every tech in America has heard these words at one point or another. And it goes kind of like this. Hey, while you're out here, could you just take a quick look at whatever it may be? It may be something else that's not working right, but you get the picture. It's just that quick look. Hey, just take a quick shot at this. And every tech in America also says the same thing. Sure, no problem. What are they going to do? They're going to just say no? Because they're good people. They want to help. They genuinely are there to help the customer, and they don't want to seem greedy or difficult. But here's what while you're here actually means in dollars. It means another 15 to 30 minutes of unbilled labor. It means a diagnostic that should have been $129 delivered for free. It means that your tech, who you are paying by the hour, is working on something that will never appear on an invoice. And it doesn't happen once in a while. It happens on almost every call. Your tech adjusts the thermostat, tightens a connection, checks the drain line. While they're there in the attic, they take a look at another item or another issue. They top off the refrigerant because it was just a little low. Each one of these is real work, and it has real value. And sorry to say it, but you guys, you're giving it away right now because nobody wrote it down and nobody actually charged for it. I call it the invisible service tax because your business pays it on every single call, and the cost is completely invisible. It never shows up as a loss because it was never recorded as actual work done. So here's a scenario, and I'm sure you guys have all lived through this one. Your tech goes out, blower motor replacement, gets it done, does a great job. Homeowner's happy. Then the homeowner says, hey, the upstairs never really cools exactly even. Could you just take a quick look? The tech goes upstairs, checks the dampers, adjusts 2 of them, tweaks the airflow balance a little bit, and then comes back down and says, yeah, you had a couple of dampers that were out of position. It should be all better now. And the homeowner says, oh, wonderful. Thank you so much. Your tech writes up the blower motor, gets the signature, and off to the next call they go. That was 25 minutes of skilled diagnostic work, airflow balancing, damper adjustment that was a standalone service. If it was that way, if it was a standalone service, you're going to charge $175 to $225 for it. And your tech just gave it away for a thank you. Now, here's the thing. He thinks he's being helpful. The homeowner thinks it was included, and you'll never know that it actually happened because it's not on the ticket. Nobody did anything wrong. There's just no system to actually catch it. Multiply that by 200 calls a year, At $175 per incident, that's $35,000 in labor that your techs performed and you never billed. $35,000. That's a van. That's a new hire salary. All gone because of them being a little nice. So here's the fix. And it's easier than you might think. You give your techs one sentence. That's all, just one. One sentence that they use every time. Every time the homeowner asks for an extra item or something that's beyond the original scope. And that sentence goes like this: I'll absolutely be happy to look at it for you. Just let me add it to today's ticket so we can get it covered. Simple as that. I can absolutely look at that for you. Let me add it to today's ticket so that we can get it covered. It's not confrontational. It's not awkward. It's professional. It tells the homeowner, yes, I'm here to help you. And it tells your business that this work has a price. The second piece is a simple rule. And this one's specifically for your technicians. If it takes you more than 5 minutes, then it's a line item. Period, full stop. Your techs need to know that your company values their time enough to charge for it. Right now, the message they're getting is exactly the opposite. The message, it's your time is free. If the customer asks nicely enough, they get it for free. Change the sentence, change the rule, that $35,000, it's gonna come back. Now I know what you're thinking. How much am I actually leaking? And that's the right question. And I built a free tool that calculates it exactly for you. It's called the margin leak calculator. You plug it in with all your numbers, your actual numbers. It takes you about 5 minutes and it shows you the exact dollar amount that you're losing every month to these invisible leaks. There's no email required. No sales pitch, it's just a number. And because the number is really what changes the behavior, we figure it's that important that you need to be able to get that without a bunch of hoops to jump through. The link is in the description below. Grab it now or wait until the end. But either way, run it tonight because this is the thing that is going to make a huge difference in your business right now. Because the third leak that I'm about to show you is the one that ties everything together. And you're going to want to see all three on one screen. So check it out. Hit the code on the screen here or in the link in the description below. But now that you can actually see the Mirage and you can see the service tags, there's one more leak that we're going to discuss here today. And this one is absolutely different. The first two are about money leaving your business. The third one is about money that never arrived. Revenue that you already earned that's sitting in someone else's bank account. And it's the one most HVAC owners and any service company owner for that matter refuses to deal with because it just feels awkward. So leak number 3, it's what I call the float. Here's the thing that nobody talks about in this industry, and this is a real difference between what you actually earn and what you can actually spend. Revenue is what's on the invoice. It's what you charged your customer. The cash is what's actually in your bank account. And for most home service business companies here in the area, there's a huge gap between those two numbers, and that is costing them real money every single month. It handcuffs them and it keeps them from being able to make investments in their business and grow their business at the speed they need to make it. 55% of all invoices right now are being paid late. That's not my number. That's the industry data that came in from the end of 2025. That's more than half. So what does that mean for your business? It means you finished the work, you bought the parts, you paid your techs, you paid for the fuel, and all of that money is gone. And the customer's payment, it's still sitting 30, 45, sometimes 60 days out. You're floating that cost of doing the business with your own cash. The float is the gap between when you spend the money and when you actually get it back. And the bigger your business grows, the wider that gap gets because you're taking on more jobs, you're buying more material, you're running more trucks, you're paying more labor, and every single dollar is going out before it actually comes back in. And that's why home service owners have this bizarre experience of doing their best month ever, and the revenue it shows great success, but they're feeling more and more stressed when it comes to money, and that the slow month might happen before they know it. Because the revenue went up, so did the float. And now the cash flow is what is actually paying the bills, not the invoices. So you see, you get my point. This is actually where, as you scale up, things actually get worse instead of getting better. So not always is new sales and more activity going to solve the problem. Let me paint it for you like this. You finish a $6,200 commercial unit replacement for a property management company. You did that on a Monday. Did a great job. You send the invoice that afternoon. 2 weeks pass. Nothing happens. You send a reminder email. Another week. Nothing. You call the property manager. Voicemail. You call again Thursday. Oh yeah, I need to get that paid. They say, well, we're going to get it off to accounts payable, and they're going to be cutting checks on the 15th. Now the 15th comes, no check. You call again. Oh, the check was mailed last Friday. It arrives day 40. Meanwhile, here's what already left your bank account. For that one job, it was $2,800 in equipment. You put it on your credit card the week before the install. So $780 in labor. For the tech, it was also paid. For the people that did the work, $120 in fuel. You paid the fuel bill. That's $3,700 that you spent on day one or before, and you got paid on day 40. For 40 days, you floated $3,700 for someone else's project with your money. If you have 5 or 6 jobs that are running like this at the same time, that float can go up to $15,000 to $25,000 in unpaid invoices at any given moment. That's that $25,000 that you can't use for payroll. You can't use it for parts. You can't use it for a new van that your tech needs. These are all things that make your business feel tight, even though you're busier than ever before. And here's what makes this a leak and not just an inconvenience. When your cash is locked up in unpaid invoices, then you start making bad decisions. You take a lower margin job because you need the cash this week. You put materials on a high interest credit card because the account is thin. You skip a marketing spend that would actually bring you in more high paying jobs and would have brought in better work next month. That float doesn't just cost you in the money that the job is going to bring in, it costs you in future money. It costs you in future jobs. It costs you the decisions that you can't make while the money is gone. So here's how you fix the float. You fix it in 3 moves. Move 1, collect on completion whenever humanly possible. Card on file before you start the job. Mobile payment terminal in the truck. A digital invoice with a one-tap pay link sent the minute the technician marks the job completed. Make paying you the easiest thing the homeowner does that day. The goal is 0 days between job done and money collected. Move 2, for commercial accounts and net 30 customers, set up an automated reminder sequence, a polite email 3 days before the invoice is due, a firmer one on the due date, and then another at 7 days past, and another and more strenuous one at 14. You're not chasing payments. The system is. You set it up. You set it up once, and then it runs every month without you having to think about it. This is a key critical thing to automate, and the reason being is that anybody else that's doing collections or reminding people about their accounts, that's an uncomfortable, tense situation that they don't want to be a part of, so they're going to delay it and put it off. Make it automated, and it's going to be just fine for you. Move number 3, and this is really where the mindset shift is stop treating late payment as a customer service issue and start treating it as a margin issue, because that's really what it is. Every dollar sitting in someone else's account for an extra 30 days is a dollar that can't work for your business. It's not rude to get paid on time. It's actually survival. So now you've seen all 3. The revenue mirage, where the jobs look good on paper and they secretly are eating your profit alive. The invisible service tax, where your team is literally giving $35,000 a year or more away in free labor. and the float, where the money you already earned, it's trapped in someone else's timeline and bank account. 3 leaks, they're all invisible, they're all fixable. But here's the real question. How much is it actually costing you? That's what we really need to talk about here. So here's the thing that ties all 3 of these together. And I mentioned it at the top. It's called the per hour truth test. And it's the single fastest way to find out exactly whether your business is actually making money or if we're just moving money around. That number is the truth about the job. Not how much you charged, not about how much revenue it generated, how much profit you actually earned for each hour of your team's time that you invested in it. And here's why this matters. If you run this test on 10 jobs, you're gonna start seeing a pattern. Some job types will be $150 an hour. Others are gonna be 40. Some might even be negative once you add up all the real costs. And when you see that, every decision starts to change. You stop saying yes to everything and you start saying yes to the right things. And that's how you can go from 47 calls and broke to 28 calls and highly profitable, not by working harder, but by seeing clearly. Now, I built a free tool that does all this math specifically for you. It's called the Margin Leak Calculator. You plug in your real numbers. It runs your per hour truth test across all your common job types, and it calculates how all this works, how much you're actually leaking from all 3 of these invisible drains. It takes about 5 minutes to do. The numbers are yours, it stays with you, it doesn't go out to anyone else, and it shows you a number. And that number is going to either make you feel really good about your business, or it's going to make you realize why you've been working 60-hour weeks and coming home with nothing more to show for it. The link is right below in the description below the video here. Grab it, run it tonight, because knowing that number is the first step, and everything after that changes for the better. Now, if you found this valuable and you want to go deeper, I made a video on exact pricing frameworks that lets you raise your rates without losing customers. It's the next step after finding your leaks. So click right here and I'll see you on the other side.